Good morning, Read 180 students. Today is Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. I'm going to have you look at your agenda real quick. If you look where it says materials, we are going to be starting workshop 5 today, so I'd like you to make sure you have your real book, pencil, obviously a charged iPad or something next to being plugged in. You're going to also need your Read 180 binder for when you do your bell work, which is week 14, day 2. And then after you do your independent reading, you're going to record and write in your reading log. Now, just a reminder, you're going to see this when you go to Schoology. There's some reminders about what your reading log should look like and how I grade it. In order to get your full points, you want to make sure you have all the components. So when you go to Schoology and you find the assignment for the reading log for this week, please make sure you read through that list and double check that you have all of those components. Just a reminder, and that will help you get your increase your grade if you are not getting all the points each week. All right, so before we start though, I just want to play a quick little YouTube video, and it's called
20 things we should say more often. Number 20, thank you. And not just on Thanksgiving, every day. Number 19, excuse me. Number 18, here's a surprise corn dog that I bought you because you're my friend. There'll be more corn dogs and more happy people. This is a good idea. Corn dog for you, corn dog for you, corn dog for you. Number 17, I'm sorry. Number 16, I forgive you. Number 15, you can do it! But don't say it if it's something you can't do. Number 14, another thing that we should say more often, I have barbecue sauce in my shirt too. Before you say something about the barbecue sauce on somebody else's shirt, take a look at the barbecue sauce on your own shirt. Number 13, please. Number 12, everything is going to be okay. Number 11, oh, you got me a corn dog too? You shouldn't have, buddy. Number 10, I don't know. I know a lot of people who need to say that. My sister. Number 9, you're so awesome I named my dog after you. Oh, wait. That could hurt someone's feelings. I mean boat. I named my boat after you. Wait, who even has a boat? You're so awesome, I legally changed my name to yours. Wait, that's super creepy. Just tell people they're awesome and mean it. Number 8, hello, person that I've never met before. Here's a high five. Number 7, my sports team is not always the best sports team. It takes a big man to say that. Number 6, nothing. Sometimes that's the best thing you can say. Number 5, doesn't mean anything, but it's just really funny. Number 4, I disagree with you, but I still like you as a person who is a human being, and I'll treat you like that. Because if I didn't, it would make everything bad, and that's what lots of people do, and it's lame. Whew, I need a water break, y'all. It's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to be mean. Number 3, sometimes you just gotta scream. Number 2, life is tough, but so are you. Sometimes we all need to be reminded to keep going. Number 1, something nice, anything. If you can't think of anything nice to say, you're not thinking hard enough. So what about you? What do you think people should say more often? Leave a comment below and let's hear it. Oh, and I got a bonus one for you. Something that we should say more often? Let's dance.
Super gay.
All right, students, hopefully you got a little bit of enjoyment from that quick video. Just a reminder of sometimes we just have to take a moment and do something nice for ourselves, but also for others. So just kind of being more aware of that, especially as things are kind of weird going on in the world right now. A lot of A lot of uncertainties, little things like some of the things that he suggested, 20 things we should say more often. So let's see if you can get out there and do some of those. All right, so today's learning target, we're going to be looking at our anchor video for the workshop 5, and it's called Contagion. The learning target is that we can use active viewing strategies to build background and content knowledge about key ideas from a video. And we will get to that video shortly. All right, so just a reminder as well, please check and make sure you're working on those missing assignments. You're going to find everything in Schoology that you need. With the end of the quarter approaching, you have until January 15th is going to be the last day that I'm going to be accepting late assignments for second quarter. And once that hits, you're going to see those assignments will be unpublished. You will not have access to them anymore. Please check your student view and see what you are missing. There are some things you can still get turned in for credit. All right, so I'm going to have you grab your book, and we are going to be starting workshop 5. It's called Contagion. And today's lesson that you are going to be working on for your assignment will be pages 240 to 241. But before we start that, what I want you to do is turn to page 238 and 239. You're going to see, I want you to preview these pages. And if you notice that we have a focus question, how do scientists meet the urgent need to contain killer diseases? And you're going to notice that in this workshop, there's 2 parts. The first part, we're going to be watching an anchor video called Health Alert. And then you're going to be doing some viewing and some reflecting on what you watched. And then we're going to read 3 pieces of text. 1 magazine article called Silent Killer, 1 science article called Tiny Invaders, and an informational text called A Killer Strikes. And then part 2, you're going to be working on reading a historical fiction, and it's from the story The Plague. You're going to read an informational text called The War on Germs, the poster Beware, and then at the end of the workshop, you will be writing a narrative. You're going to be given a prompt, and you're going to be writing a narrative or a story. All right, so today's goals, and if you notice, we're right here. We're starting a new workshop, and over the next few weeks, we are going to learn about deadly diseases, the people they affect, and the people who are trying to help stop them. Now, in a minute, we're going to be watching the video about a deadly disease called SARS. And this background information in this video will help you better understand contagious diseases. And so what I want you to do next is, based on the title of the workshop and the introductory text, what makes the diseases we will read about so dangerous? So I want you to kind of have that question in your mind. So if you look at it, it's called Contagion. And if you notice underneath the title, it says, first, 1 person gets sick, then another. Soon, everybody's sick. Is it an outbreak, an epidemic? Find out what makes some diseases contagious and how medical experts work to stop them from spreading. And so if you have previewed pages 238, 239, I just want you to be thinking about what thoughts or observations do you have about when you look at these images, or any connections that you are making right now. I know, as we discussed in our Zoom today, right now, students, you are living this exact story, and you're going to find a lot of things that are similar, very much the same, almost to the point that it's kind of uncanny that we are studying this workshop at this time. All right, so what we're going to do before we move any farther into the book, we're going to watch this video. Okay, so let me just get it. Oops, hold on. I'm just going to get these so you can watch it. And here we go.
March 2003. A mysterious deadly disease is sweeping the planet. People are afraid. Hospitals are under pressure. And experts are stumped.
What we have here is causing problems in virtually every corner of the globe. We don't know where this is going to go.
Public health officials feared millions of lives could be in danger. They named the new disease SARS, Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. Now they had to figure out how to defeat it. The outbreak had begun months earlier in the Guangdong province of China. Symptoms started with a high fever and a bad cough, but some victims died within a few days.
I was consumed by fear because I'd always been very healthy before. I couldn't breathe. Never in my whole life had I felt that I couldn't breathe.
What made SARS so dangerous was that it was a contagious disease. A single cough, sneeze, or an infected surface was all it took to pass SARS to someone new. At first, Chinese officials kept the outbreak a secret, which enabled the disease to spread. Some victims even got on planes, accidentally taking the disease to new places. Within months, SARS had crossed the globe. Canadian medical officer Dr. Sheila Bosserer worried it would continue to spread.
I will never forget the day that I got that first phone call about a mysterious illness that had affected a family whose members had recently returned from Hong Kong. I was extremely concerned.
With no way to immunize people against the virus, the only way to stop the epidemic was to contain it, fast. People living in infected areas were tested for symptoms such as high fever. Those carrying SARS were placed in isolation, so they couldn't pass the virus on. And medical professionals wore protective clothing, shielding themselves from catching the disease. Thankfully, the measures worked. In total, SARS infected more than 8,000 people, far fewer than predicted. Today, experts continue to improve their methods for battling contagious diseases, but all agree that it's not a matter of if, but when, the next epidemic will threaten to strike.
All right, so you will notice what's going to happen is I'm just going to go through these slides quick. You will be using your book. You can go back and re-watch the video to help you complete the outline. You have the anchor video vocabulary 1 through 5 on this slide. And what you're going to do next is using those words, I want you to complete this outline where it says building vocabulary, okay? I do have the sheet next to it if you get stuck. I want you to try to do it on your own first. And then the last thing you're going to do is you can rewatch the video, and I want you to complete where it says discussing media. You'll fill in recording 2 facts from the video. So from the video, I learned that blank, and 1 fact that caught my attention in the video was blank. You'll notice you can cross out the discuss and report, but I do want you to reflect and finish this sentence on page 241. All right, so you're going to take a picture of both pages 240 and 241, and you're going to submit it to the 5.1 assignment in Schoology. And again, you can go back and rewatch the video to help complete that outline. All right, I'm going to jump ahead. Just again, reminder of your tasks today. You're going to do your check-in. You're doing your bell work, week 14, day 2. And then lesson 5.1, make sure that is submitted in Schoology so you get credit for that. Also your 20 minutes of software, and then your independent reading for your reading log. And again, anything that is late, you need to get those submitted before you are unable to do so by the end of the quarter. We are starting workshop 5, and I don't want you to get behind even in the next few weeks. So if you are wondering how you're going to get caught up, please reach out to me so we can create a plan. All right, that's all we're going to do for today. Again, you're going to be using these slides on your own to complete pages 240 and 241. All right, have a great day.